for. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for that, and certainly we'll all continue to pray for that family. My statement, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, many Georgians, including many of you, my colleagues, have had serious concerns and have serious concerns about Georgia's elections. As we approach a critical election on January the 5th, 2021, it is clear to me that Georgia voters must have confidence in the election process going forward. To that end, myself, along with over 100 current and newly elected members of the Georgia House of Representatives, submitted a letter to Secretary of State Raffensperger and to the State Elections Board. In this letter, we made two common sense suggestions for improving the security and efficiency of our elections process for the upcoming January 5, 2021 election and beyond. First, we suggested that the State Elections Board issue a rule to counties requiring that they allow independent observers from both parties to participate in the signature review process on both paper absentee ballot applications and the absentee ballots themselves once returned to challenge any invalid signatures. Secondly, we also suggested that the Secretary of State or the State Elections Board work with other state agencies to contract for additional support staff for county and precinct level elections operations to ensure compliance with all elections regulations and laws. We also pledged that as a General Assembly, we would provide any financial, fiscal support to help them carry out that process. Mr. Chairman, our suggestions to the Secretary of State and State Elections Board are simply to have every legal vote in Georgia County. That is a bipartisan request that supports every Georgian voter, no matter which party they participate from. I believe it makes sense. There's a path forward, there's precedent for issuing this guidance to the counties, and I believe, and I'm very hopeful that the Elections Board and Secretary of State will soon move forward with these recommendations. Mr. Chairman, I will submit a copy of this letter to the committee by email to you, Chairman Blackman, and ask that you distribute it to the committee for their review, that it be part of the record of this hearing. Thank you for your time today, all of you. Everyone be safe when they do travel, even on a Zoom call when you travel. So we ask everyone be safe and they have a joyous and happy Christmas holiday, and that we continue to do the work for our state and for our communities that we're bound to do. So, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the time and for the committee's time and this chance to bring this forward.
Thank you very much, Leader Burns. Very much appreciate you being with us this morning, and appreciate you presenting those. And certainly we continue to pray for the Beal family.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I noticed that a couple of people have their hands up. I'm going to go through a little bit of housekeeping, and then hopefully we can get to that point. There are a number of questions, I'm sure, for our presenters today, and if you will message me and Molly, we will put those questions in the order in which we receive them. Obviously, we're working with technology here, so we'll be doing the best we can. We may run into some issues, but if we do, we'll try to take care of those the best we can. I know many people have asked to testify and be a part of this process. We got as many today as we possibly could on the agenda, but we didn't get them all, so we'll have some more left over. This is our first meeting, but it is not our last. Also like to share that we did invite the Secretary of State to appear today, but they declined, and so many of our committee members had questions specifically for them. So we were going to budget some time at the end of the meeting so that everybody had a chance to make some comments. And say everybody, members of this committee had time to make comments. And I see Chairman Fleming and Chairman Trammell. If that's appropriate, I would defer then to those comments so that we can get started on our agenda today. Mr. Ray Smith, did you have a statement that you'd like to make first?
Yes, Chairman Blackman, thank you very much. I'm Ray Smith. I am counsel for the President of the United States. There are two witnesses that you're going to hear from in the next few minutes, Christian Adams and Matt Brainerd. They are designated experts in the President's case of Trump versus Raffensperger et al. And out of an abundance of caution, they will be reading affidavit reports and will not be taking questions. However, if there are committee questions that want to be submitted in writing or by email to us, we'd be happy to try to get back to you all at a later time. But we ask that they just read their statements today. And then, of course, we'll be presenting a summary of our case at about 11 o'clock. So I just want to read that statement for the record. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Adams. I think I noticed you were on the call. Are you ready? Yes, you're there. So I've just asked if you start by, maybe telling us who you are, a little of your background, and the floor is yours, sir.
Right. I don't want to tread on Representative Trammell. I think he has something.
I was still has his hand up. I have two hands up. I said Chairman Fleming and Leader Trammell. So let me